Hello, it's Lucy. Today here with a bullet journal flip through. So this is going to be my 2018 bullet journal flip through. I've been using this bullet journal for all of 2018, and so I'm just going to show you guys what I've been putting in it, So it's just like any other bullet journal flip through. If you want like a primer on what a bullet journal is, it's basically like a planning system. I'll link the original video down below about it if in case you want to learn more, but I'm just going to show you how I have been using it. I've done a bullet journal flip through for the last 2 years maybe, or maybe I just did one last year, I can't remember, but I at least have one on my channel, so I'll link it down below. So my bullet journal is pretty minimal, so if you're looking for like extra art or whatever, then this is not the right video. My nails look terrible. I should have dealt with that before filming this, but we're here now. It's on camera for everyone to see forever. But yeah, so this is it. This is a Lake Term 1917. Is that what it's called? I don't remember. But yeah, it's the one that everyone uses. It's like the same brand as like the official bullet journal. But I'm actually switching journals next year, so keep an eye out for that. I think I'm going to do like a 2019 setup flip through kind of thing. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. But yeah, and also got messed up when I moved. Oh, can you see that? Yeah, it got messed up when I moved. Here we go, so we'll skip that. I actually haven't prepared for this video at all, so this is just like what it looks like now. I haven't like finished some spreads that probably need to be finished, but this is the real raw bullet journal, This is my index. I've used 1.5 pages. I probably could have used, because I stopped in October. Probably could have used like a couple more lines maybe. Now we have 2018 as a glance. I won't be doing this again. A lot of people said it's helpful for when they're setting up their spread, but whenever I'm setting up my spread, you know what I have next to me? My phone, and you know what's on my phone? A calendar. So I don't need this. I hardly flip back to it, so yeah, it was not worth it at all. Is this centered? I don't know. I'm sorry if this whole video is really crooked. This is the year in pixels. I stopped in April. Wow, that's later than I thought. I stopped in March. Kind of did. Like this whole first few days I didn't do anything, but yeah, I stopped because it wasn't working for me. I never remembered to go back and fill in a pixel, so yeah, it wasn't working for me. And even the ones I did fill in, I actually filled in like all at once. Like I would like say on the 15th, I probably hadn't filled in from like the 10th, so I just would think back and try to remember how I felt and like fill it in retroactively, so it wasn't working. Next spread, New Year's resolutions. I'll probably do this next year. But just basically some New Year's resolutions I had. I can go through them if you want. They're not that personal. Have a 3.5 semester GPA and 3.5 semester GPA from when I was in school, and at least a 3.0 graduating GPA, and I accomplished that. Get my first full-time job. I did that. Do the whole 30. I didn't do that, but I will be doing it this month. So write in my journal 1 time a week. I have a personal journal that I would like to write in at least 1 time a week. I didn't do that. Read 65 books. You'll see that I did accomplish that. And lastly, to exercise or go to the gym at least 1 time a week. On average, I didn't accomplish that at all. Next, we have like reading spreads. There's a 2018 Read Harder Challenge, which is a thing that's put on my Book Riot. My goal was to read at least 12 of these books and check out my reading goals video to see if I accomplished that. And this is the 2018 bookshelf. I had a spread like this last year and I really liked it, and it's basically supposed to be all the books that I read. I'm supposed to fill them in as I read them, but I haven't been doing a great job of that, so I didn't even finish it like I started. But I'll probably still use this next year just because I think it's cool, and like if I'm trying to relax or whatever, I find it like calming to fill in the books. And then we have my book buying budget. I talked about this in both of my haul videos. Basically, I had a rule. I was supposed to only be able to buy a book after I read 3. And so this is how I kept track of the books that I owned, that I read, and the books that I was bringing in. And I just did it like this. I will be bringing this back next year. Check out my reading goals. You'll see why. Next, we have video ideas. I didn't use the spread at all. Now I just put all my video ideas in my phone, so didn't use it. Movies I wanted to watch. Ooh, I forgot about had the spread. So did I do most of these? I actually have watched most of these. This is TV show tracker. I also stopped filling this in, but also because I mostly stopped watching TV. You'll see another one of these. Winter break to do. So this is my second to last to-do list every year for like random things in the year. Like school breaks, I like to have a big to-do list of things that I'd like to get done that I didn't have time to do during school. Most of it is like random fun stuff. So like most of these are like watch TV shows, watch movies. Didn't do any of them. Certain movies, do certain things. So yeah. Now we're into January, finally. So most of my calendar spreads look like this. I just do a big calendar because I like to see the month like this. And my future planning, or like whatever space I have left, because these weren't days, I just write the date of the future like thing, and then I put what's going on. So yeah, I did daily spreads because I think I was on break. Then I started doing my January TBR, which was the best idea I had in my bullet journal all year. I really liked having it all down, like written out, so that I could like really keep track of my TBR. If you watch like that drinking game video I did, you'll see like how I did on my TBRs and stuff. But I do feel like I did do better than I have been doing with my TBRs this year, specifically because this was always here to remind me. Like before, I would have to go back and watch that video, but now I just have it all in my bullet journal. More dailies. I started to split the pages in half. And then this is my weekly, not really weekly, it's 4 days on a page. I found that during school this works best for me because I do like to set up my spreads ahead of time for the entire month, because during school it was easier for me so that I could like put down all the due dates I have for the month into the dailies, because on a regular basis, I didn't use the monthly pages as much. I always just looked at like my daily/weekly, whatever. I never did like dailies and weeklies because it seems redundant to me. So I just did this, and this gets like the most bang for your buck, I feel like. Okay, so then I also started to do readathon spreads this year, which I also really liked. So I just write the challenges, the books that I tried to read for the challenges or was planning to read for the challenges, and this particular readathon spread I did like for every day how much I read. And this readathon I read 224 pages, which is not the greatest. Now we're in February. I also planned videos this way, and when I first started I did it in pen, but later on you'll see I did it, oh you won't see actually, but later on I switched to doing it in pencil so that I could just erase it if I changed what day I uploaded a video. And here I decided I was going to practice calligraphy. Didn't turn out well. My February TBR, washi tape. I do have some of that. Another TV show tracker. I did use this one more because I ended up making this after I ran out of space on the other one, and this was shows that I was like currently watching. And then we're into daily/weeklies. I always like to experiment with like how I do things, and like I don't care if I make a mistake, I just cross it out and move on. Not a perfectionist, this is very minimalist. Okay, and here we have my arc tracker where I tracked what arcs I got and whether I read them and reviewed them, how I reviewed them, and where I got them from. So if you can see closely, I got most of my arcs from NetGalley, a few from Bookish First, and one from Edelweiss. I don't think I finished filling this out actually though, so yeah, but I really liked having this just to like remind myself about the arcs that I have. March, my March TBR, and then we're into dailies. I had a snow day, that was cool. And this is like a holiday at my school. It's not a real holiday. Clearly I cannot draw. I don't know if you noticed that. I had another snow day. Was that this year? Damn. Anyway. I tried to do like a little more artistic stuff. I did this in my last bullet journal like a couple times. If you notice, some of the days I wrote down what I was eating because I had to do that for the gym class I was taking, and I had to like write journal entries based on what I ate. My spring break to-do list, I did much better on this than my winter one. And I took part in the April-a-thon. I ended up not finishing doing the like daily thing because I didn't feel like it, I guess. I don't know. By the third day, I had already read 1,000 pages, so I did much better on this readathon than the other one. And then I also took part in the Owls. So I just wrote down the challenges and what books I was doing. I didn't do the daily thing because this was a month-long readathon. This was a page for me to test colors or something. I don't know what I was doing here. And this is May. I went to Thailand. This does not look good. This looks blinding. Maybe it looks better on camera. I don't know. I switched to an actual weekly spread. This is a full week starting on Monday because I didn't think I would need as much because this was finals week actually. So yeah, I didn't think I would need as much space and I was right. I started to do a tracker, didn't track anything. I don't even know what I was tracking. And then I graduated on May 19th and I think that's the end of the dailies. Yeah. Then I did a summer to-do list. I actually got my job in February and I got to choose when I started. So this is for the time between graduating, well actually between getting back from Thailand and the time before I had to move. So this was all my summer to-do list. This was my last summer vacation. Very sad. Now I'm an adult now. Very sad. This was June spread. And then this is when I basically converted to basically only using my monthlies for my videos. June TBR, I tried to do a skincare routine spread because Sunshine Stationery, is that what it's called? Sunshine's and Stationery. They have a channel, I'll link it down below. I had a spread kind of like this and I was like, oh, that's good. But I have my skincare routine memorized, so I didn't really need it, so I never finished filling it out. July. And then I started to write down video ideas in the corner just for that month. This was a list of things I needed to do before I moved. I actually did get all of these things in case you're worried that I don't have a desk or a bookshelf or a frying pan. I have all of these things. This was a spread I did for when I was looking at apartments, so I could weigh like the pros and cons between all the apartments I was looking at. More dailies. These are much more spread out than my other ones. You'll see July 4th, 5th, the 9th, the 12th, the 23rd. We have August. I didn't do a monthly TBR because I took part in 2 readathons. So we have the Booktubeathon TBR and the Newts TBR. For the Booktubeathon, I did like progress bars. I've seen other people do this and it looked fun, so I did them. But it kind of didn't work because I had only enough space for the books on my TBR, but I ended up reading some other books that weren't on my TBR. And for the Newts, it's a month-long readathon, so I didn't do anything. I just wrote the challenges. September. My September TBR that I nicknamed Arc September and kind of failed at. This was supposed to be like a video tracker thing, but I ended up not using this. Dailies. And then I started Money Diaries on Refinery 29 was having like a Money Diaries challenge. I started to write it down and I was gonna like do it, but then I didn't. So dailies, blank page. October. So October is now probably what I'm gonna do moving forward. We'll see, like into next year. So I made my monthly smaller. Like usually it takes up the whole page, the calendar, but I made it smaller so I could have room for this and for this. So this is video ideas that I had, and then I kept track of whether I filmed them and then if I uploaded them. And yeah, and then I just use a calendar mostly for video ideas with like little holidays in between. Then I did a big to-do list that I looked back on for the whole month for when I was doing my weeklies. Oh, this is not a weekly, but this is my October TBR and my Spookathon TBR. This is similar to how I did the April-a-thon TBR, whatever, the Booktubeathon. This is similar to how I did the Booktubeathon spread. And then I did a daily. I wrote the date for this daily and then I didn't write anything down, so I just drew a pumpkin. And then this is a weekly on 1 page. I liked this, but I didn't like it. I liked it because it took up 1 page, but I also wasn't using up my bullet journal, so I was trying to like finish it. So I switched to like a 2-page weekly. Like I like to see my to-dos on a day rather than just having a giant to-do list for the week. And so this didn't really work for me. So I switched to this, which I like better. And then this, I barely use my bullet journal. November, same setup as October. And then here is where I went on trips. I decided I was going to do that just because I thought it was fun. November TBR, I did the same weekly because this is when I went to Prague. So I knew I wasn't going to be using it. And I didn't because this is December. And the book, I keep one bookmark on the month and one bookmark on the day. So yeah. And this month, I tried something different. This is my December TBR. I didn't have a marker when I started doing it, and then I ran out of space, so I just did it on the side. I don't mind it. I added this in, which is like a pages read tracker, and it was really working for me. But then the 20th, I stopped because I just stopped keeping track. Like I forgot to, and then the holidays came around, and like I just felt like it was too late to go back. But I probably will do this at least in January just to see like a more regular month, just to see if I can like do it. And yeah, so now we're on weeklies. Woo, okay. This was the day, and then did I go up to, yeah, I went up to the day before Christmas Eve, and then I stopped, and then I took part in the Christmas at Hogwarts readathon, so I did a readathon tracker for that, and now we're at the end. I actually have a lot of pages left, but I'm still starting a new bullet journal for next year because I want to, but I think starting next year, I'll have bullet journals that are more than 1 year in a journal, because the reason this one got so small is because I stopped going to school. So I ended up with, I only did weeklies that were 7 days instead of 4 days. And yes, and I don't know, we'll see what happens next year. But yeah, that's the end of my bullet journal. Here's some empty pages. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. That's a thumbs up. If you think that I need to fix my nails, you're right. Let me know if you use bullet journals, how you use yours, what do you think of mine. If you want to see a 2019 kind of setup flip through, like I won't set it up on camera, but I'll show you what I did to set up, then let me know in the comments down below. And subscribe to my channel. Hit the notification bell if you want to be notified whenever I post a video. And blah, blah, blah. Thank you for watching. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.